Welcome everyone, this is episode 41 of the Contextual Podcast. Again, I am riding solo. I'm across all three streaming devices. Twitch, Mixer and YouTube. So it's going live at the same time. So hopefully whatever sort of streaming or video platform you're on, you should get to see the podcast. And thanks for subscribing, because the subscribers are going up every single week. We've been on my own again. I'm going to have to keep the sort of structure going. I know Steve from Las Vegas, UK was on episode 39. He's in Vegas now, which is great. So he's going to keep me updated through social media, what's going on. I'm going to be getting him on when he comes back. We're going to sort of finalise this Las Vegas podcast we're looking at doing together. And I've already got probably 5 or 6 guests lined up. I'm going to try, I think, and keep it under the contextual, because contextual can mean a lot of things. And we'll go from there. And, you know, if you're not into Vegas, then, you know, I'll give you a heads up when it's, you know, if it's not your thing and you don't have to listen to it. But it's just going to be a bit interesting, a bit diverse to what we usually do. And plus, at the moment, it's sort of slow season when it comes to gaming. So it's not really something that we can talk too much about other than what we're playing. And then I want to get Matt Bridger on as well. Now, Matt Bridger, I've mentioned a few times on the podcast, mentioned when Steve was on with us. He runs a really, really funny, and he's got a good following vlog on YouTube. And it's just basically Matt Bridger. Just get on there. He goes to Vegas 2-3 times a year. And he's just been and just come back this weekend. So I've been following his daily vlogs where he's just going around Vegas, getting drunk, going on the slots more than anything. Just doing what I do when we go to Vegas. So he's definitely going to come on hopefully in the next few weeks. And then Nicky from ours, we keep going on about, he's going later in the year, around about September. So he's going to come on after his trip. And we've got a few things going on there. And they're like, you know, supporting the podcast as well. So that's really good. So just get on them, especially Nicky and Matt, really good people and funny as well when you watch the vlogs. It's just normal people talking about the holidays and just doing daft things that we all do when we're away. What have I been doing this year? One thing I've been doing, which is why this just got set up last week, was this bit of kit that Brad got us onto, Restream.io, and it's a brilliant site basically. It hosts all your streaming sites. You log in through YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, all goes together, and then basically it just sends this, as we are now, through OBS live to all three formats at the same time. So it's giving me a bit more exposure with the podcast, hopefully reaching a few more people. I've seen a bit of a increase in the sort of traffic with the people watching us streaming games this week, so I'll just keep going. But if anyone's sort of into streaming or wants to get into it, you know, start with the Mixer stuff if you're on Xbox, or if you're on PlayStation, it's Twitch and YouTube. And then this, honestly, it's the way forward for me. Definitely something that you should look at doing through OBS, which is like an open broadcast piece of software that you use, and you send the signal. You need like a capture card and stuff, but you can do it through Windows 10, which is what I do on some of my stuff. It sends a signal from like your Xbox and stuff. Oh, and we've got Brad here. How's it going, Brad? Yeah, so obviously we don't want any Liverpool United jokes, please, you know. I wouldn't expect anything less, mate. Yeah, good to see you here anyway. Yeah, so Restream's brilliant, and Brad's the man who got us onto this. I can't thank him enough. I've said it a few times now. He's not getting any more praise out of me, other than the fact that it's been a bit of an eye-opener and helping me sort of get more people in the podcast. Gaming-wise this week, all I've been playing, as usual, is PUBG. We jumped on Fortnite the other day, me and Brad and Ant, we got absolutely dicked, but I was streaming at the time when my nephew decided to just take everyone out, and he got about 10 kills and took 2 guys out at the end with 1 bullet, which was unbelievable. It was on my stream and people actually thought it was me playing, which it obviously wasn't. But no, I haven't had the email yet, Brad. The email Brad is talking about, if you're watching the stream through video, is the Manchester United Supporters Club. Someone decided to bring up the fact that we would need hymn sheets hanging out at Old Trafford. I have mentioned this before, but he will not let this go, will he? And no, I haven't had the email from United. Thank you, my good mate. Wanker. So yeah, so we've been playing that, and I've got back on the Mario Kart train, which is what's sort of playing in the bottom left of the screen actually. I've had my nephew over this weekend, and he's a massive Nintendo fan. He's only like 7, and he absolutely loves everything Nintendo. So I dug out the N64, I had my Xbox soft mod on with all the N64 games. He was playing Mario and that. So I decided to have a bit of a go on Mario Kart. I did a bit of streaming this morning, which is on my YouTube channel and Mixer and stuff. If you get a chance. I actually won in the second or first game, and then after that we didn't win anything. But Mario Kart's a great game, especially on the Wii U. I mean, I'd like a Switch, but at the moment I can't really justify buying one. But if you get a chance, it's a cracking game, and I will be streaming it quite regular now because I'm alright at it. So they're really all I've been playing this week. As usual, it's the PUBG. I'm waiting for some patches on PUBG, so we'll see what goes on there. Next section really is news, usual stuff. Couple of things I've pulled out. I always use Eurogamer for my news because it's where I go to, our M4G, which Brad knows quite well, obviously. Eurogamer, yeah, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare now is backwards compatible, so if you've got it on the 360, you can play it and just put the disc in and it'll work on the Xbox One. I know the remaster's on there, so if you've got that, it's pretty pointless, but I know my old man's played Call of Duty for years, and especially Modern Warfare. He's spent hundreds of days playing it. I'm not exaggerating. He plays it every single day. So he went back on it and he even said that it seemed to run a bit slower than the remaster, which it probably will do. So he wasn't convinced, and I don't know whether the hacking's on there because there's loads of hacking on COD Modern Warfare. So we'll just have to. I don't honestly know. So if you've got the disc and you've got an Xbox One, it's a 360. Just try it, see what you think. It's still going to be populated online and stuff. It's just whether people are peeing about doing Superman all over the maps like he used to do. The next one. I think I mentioned this last week, but Granger Games is shut now. The administrators have come in. There was, like, near local to me, Manchester, these ones in Salford and Stretford, which I've used. You know, I've had like PlayStations from them and things like that. And the one in Stretford used to be great in Manchester. And the guys are really good, like a couple of the guys who run it, like Steve and Stevie they were called. They were there from when it first opened. It took over from, what was it, Game Exchange, who I think they've only got one shop left in Bolton, but they used to have it in Stretford Mall, Stretford Arndale. But yeah, it's gone to shit basically. I mean, I've been disappointed with the pricing. The pricing used to be great at Granger. You could go in the price match CEX and that went, and then all of a sudden, even brand new games were actually more than game, which if you're charging more than game, then I'm sorry, your business model wants looking at, because there's no way that them mugs at game, you know, they have your pants down anyway. But if Granger were doing that, which they were, it was like $52.99 for some games, 54, which is ridiculous. You know, you're going in the supermarket, and I understand it's predominantly a niche market with just being a game shop, but if you're going to appeal to gamers, then surely, I just never understand why the pricing decided to go up this gen. When the PS4 and Xbox One come up, the price of development didn't really go up, but they decided in game to put all the prices of games up by a tenner. So when you would go in and buy a game for $39.99, and if you traded some in for say a tenner, you're chomping out 30 quid, which is fine. That was something I was always happy to do at game, and I always find games bundles good. If you're going to buy a bundle for consoles, go into game. I always find because with them being a gaming a gaming shop and gaming business, they will throw deals in there because they get them. You're not going to get that at Asda and stuff. It's very rare. I mean, Toys R Us now and again have the odd one, but obviously they've just gone under as well. So you're pretty stuck. I think Smythe's or Smith's, whatever it's called, there's one in Salford near us. They're pretty good, but it's hit and miss again. But like I say, if you want a bundle, go to get anything else. No, but Granger it's gone to shit basically because they've just overpriced themselves. Obviously the overheads, the game, and they're competing with game, because when game obviously was looking like that, they were going out of business, got bought out. There was a big upturn for Granger because they were the only ones on the high street. But it's a shame really, because you need these sort of little shops, but they're never going to do it. And as soon as them prices went up, I remember speaking to a couple of lads before they left, Steve and that, and saying to them, look, you're going to go under here. I said, I'm not a great businessman by any stretch of imagination, but anyone with common sense can see that you're not hiding to nothing. Your loyal sort of customers, which I was one of them, had the reward card and everything. They used it all the time and used to just go on CEX and they price match games. I mean, sometimes I've even brought second-hand games in after a week and got more for, literally the same price as if it was brand new, and the price matching I did £1 on. But gamers stopped doing that as well because now they know they've got no competition. So it's a shame really, but I just thought them guys all get jobs. And then another one is one of the other articles. I only picked like 4 articles out just to throw something a bit different in. Fortnite they've now got this $3.99 starter pack. Now, we went on Fortnite the other day, and it's changed so much from when we started playing when it first come out about 6-7 months ago. But they've got this $3.99 starter pack, and you get like a suit and that. But it's actually rare now that people don't have suits, because everyone's just dressed as astronauts and all these stupid suits and ninjas and that. So it's there, $3.99. It gets you going, gets you a different character instead of the generic sort of male, female characters. And then you've got a couple of other things in it. But it's only $3.99, so if you're into it, and to be fair, anyone who's listening who is a parent, this is where they're getting you. The game's free, but these sort of these skins that they're bringing out is where the money is, basically, because that's how they've made it. Especially the rise of Fortnite now, it's overtaken PUBG until it comes on the PS4, and then obviously I think it will be a level playing field with PUBG. So yeah, what else? Oh, I picked out the PlayStation VR's going down in price. I have to read this article because I haven't got a VR, and I know Brad's got one. He's been on it quite a lot, and a couple other people I know go on about it. It's just I just don't think there's any games for it. I've never wanted to jump. Oh, it's going down by £100 actually. From $349 to $259 now, £90. That's on Eurogamer. It's live now as well, so there must be something coming at E3, or they know Microsoft may be actually doing this partnership that they were supposed to be doing with some of the VR companies. I think they actually own Oculus, is it? So I don't know whether something's going to go on with that, but that seems a bit strange, especially with E3 not being here. And I know this week as well for Xbox fans, I saw something yesterday that Inside Xbox is back on the 10th, but there's a big announcement around the original OG Xbox games, so that stick around. I think it's that Major Nelson again. So there'll be something going on there this weekend, and we'll see. Well, it's the 10th, so it's going to be, when's that? Wednesday. George has just entered the room, so that's the clicking. Everyone, apologies. Oh, so we've been disturbed. Sam's here. Say hello, Sam.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I thought you shut the door.
Yeah, he was in. Like Brad said, Microsoft should be with Oculus Rift. It will happen because they do own part of the company. Just one thing I will address one of Brad's comments later, but we're not actually on the football section, so I haven't forgotten, my good friend, considering you're the only one who's putting the comments on. So it's like a one-on-one podcast, this, mate. So yeah, that's really all I've got for the news, wise. I will look at the PlayStation VR, but I don't know, it just seems like a tech demo to me. I want somewhere I can get properly immersed, like, where you're totally into it, like a Gears of War or like a Call of Duty. I mean, I've tried like the 3D Call of Duty and that, but Black Ops, it was absolutely terrible. So, yeah, so we'll see where we are. Anyway, let's talk about a couple of things that have sort of come up over the last few days. So, the new stuff's out of the way. I've got a few things that I want to talk about. One of them is about my good old subject, which I've not mentioned for a few weeks, Pro Evo. The whole point of this podcast originated was because of Pro Evo. And it's a more of a general thing, is the Win 11 blog, I always bang on about it, was the original inception. It was up there with PES Fan. Well, PES Fan has been out for years, about 15 years, but then Win 11 blog has been going probably about 10 years now. And we all know the story. Adam Batty created it with Suff. And Adam obviously works for Konami now. Asim took over, he now works for Konami. And at the moment, it's more like a rudderless ship. Well, we've got this guy called Alan, who I've been, with sort of schedules of not got him on the podcast for one thing and another, which is fine, we all work and I totally understand that. We had a bit of a set to on the forums, and now it's just gone to the point where I think Alan's tried to go in there and do something to liven up the forum and get people talking instead of slagging off Konami in the game. But the game is just, in my eyes, absolutely terrible, as I've banged on now. This is the 41st podcast. We've pretty much mentioned it in about 30 of them. So I think people are sick of hearing me saying how bad I think Pro Evo is, in my opinion. But it's mostly with forums, because forums were the bread and butter of gaming. And we're having this chat on there at the moment where I'm up for... Hi Daddy, consumed Harpy 45. Cheers, Paul. I don't even know what to say about that, but... all right, Paul. But yeah, so we're looking at doing a roundtable discussion on one of my podcasts with like the Google Hangouts, where if you're into Pro Evo, get involved and get everyone's point of view. So whether you're, offline player, online player, my club player, you're into the tournaments, the esports side of it, we want to talk about it, because obviously FIFA's just this monster, as we all know. And then we're going to see what we can come up with and air our views. And I think in some respects it's one way of going at Konami with everyone's point of view, whether it's good or bad or in some common ground. It's not going to be an absolute shit show, people just kicking off and that, because I won't have that, because I can get embroiled and I'm as bad as anybody when I get going. So I've offered it out on the forums at the moment, but if you are into Pro Evo or gaming in general, then if you want to get involved in it, I'm happy to do it. We'll have 3 or 4 people and we'll just have the subject will be probably PES, but even if you're an old school PES player and you want to get involved, because it's something we're sort of serious about with the game coming up. E3's coming up, so usually they'll give us a bit of a snippet in around May, and then at E3 we get the full sort of 6-7 minute trailer with a PR press release of how amazing the game's going to be and all the other stuff like we do for FIFA. So we'll see on that. And I just hope that it brings brings everyone together, because the PES community is dead in the water really now. It's just a niche game in a niche market and forums are dying. Forums used to be everything, like I've said. I mean, I used to be on NeoGAF all the time because they had all the insider stuff with the latest consoles, but that's just fell apart last year after the other things. Nice one, Consume Harpy. Yeah, and like Brad said, he's been playing FIFA, it's miles ahead of PES, and he's right. I mean, obviously Brad hasn't mentioned about the last time he played me at FIFA, because obviously I'm the champion of all champions between me and Brad. It was Liverpool United game, first game at Anfield, and I was taking names, by the skin of my teeth. I took the title, but it doesn't matter whether you win by 20 points or 1 point, the champ is here. So we'll be getting on that, but Brad's right, the whole immersion, if you put in like headphones on and things like that when you're playing FIFA, it's just so far ahead. If you're in even the lower league stuff, it immerses you completely. So Brad's giving me some stick here. Consume Harpy, please do not ever swear at me. I'm so glad you follow me now, pal. Thank you. No, I do not support LFC. Brad MG supports LFC. I support MUFC. So, I mean, you might be a Liverpool fan, but no. Me and Brad have many discussion and disagreement on this this situation. I'm not a City fan at all. Put it this way, on Saturday when we play City, and it's at the moment, unless Mourinho pulls something out of his backside, I'm going absolutely on a social media blanket on Saturday night, because I've just got a bad feeling about that derby. What about yourself, Harpy? What team are you? But yeah, we're going to talk about football actually in a minute, because I want to go back to one of Brad's comments. But yeah, so it's sort of one of them things with FIFA. It's so good, and it's only going to get better. Obviously, as we do go into, we've got the Xbox One X now, which is still, there's going to be stuff they can't do on FIFA because of the original Xbox and the S holding it back. But when we get into sort of the PS5 territory, Brad's now giving me aggro again. I have your phone number. There's no hiding. I also know where you live. Thanks, pal. But it's so far ahead. The immersion of, like I said it the other week, you put your headphones on and FIFA's like being at a proper game. Even down to the stupid things where they actually hand out. Guy comes on the tannoy, he's giving like registration of vehicles out or names, which you would get at the match if you go to live football and that. Even no matter what division, you always get these random announcements over the tannoy, and it's just stuff. Pro Evo's just a droning mess of noise when you're playing. So it's a totally different game and everything. So like I say, if you do want to get involved, please get involved. And we want to talk about like sort of Pro Evo and stuff, and like I say, even if you've not played the latest version, why you're not playing it, because we just want to talk about that and get this discussion on, because we have got links to, Konami. I've got a few people who work directly with them or actually work there, and we're hoping that we're going to actually do something instead of moaning about it. And I'm one of the worst for it. I've done it. I've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, and we want to improve it really. And I know there's play tests coming up. Whether I get involved and get asked to the play test, I'm not sure. I probably was down for the play test after doing the review and getting the sort of press review stuff with Konami, but after what's happened with the sort of fallout previously that I've had with them, I'm not too sure. But I'm hoping to build some bridges irrespective of what's happened, so we'll see. But yeah, like Brad said, it's the little bits that make FIFA It's not perfect, but Miles Pez, and I agree. I totally agree. In a one-on-one scenario, and I've banged on about pro clubs so much on this podcast, but there's just so many things that are right with FIFA, and there's just so much wrong. And don't get me wrong, Pro Evo's got so many good things there. A lot of the body, sort of the way they built the characters up and that, the graphics and that. In some of the lighting's brilliant, but then in other ones it's terrible. We're going back to even on the PS2 it wasn't as bad. I've gone back playing the PS2 stuff on some of my streams, you can see that. And it might not be the best anymore at Pro Evo, I'm struggling like mad on some of them, but the actual enjoyment is there, and the toughness of playing, there's no toughness now. It just feels like, I know any game you're just pressing buttons in a sequence to, get to a certain point on a map or a certain point on a football pitch, but it's just fucking bobbins at the moment. And I just hope by having this open discussion, it'll sort of get the people who need to listen about the game. That's how passionate we are. So anyway, 41st episode, and I can still pull a bit of Pez out my fucking backside. So what else? Oh yeah, we were talking about this last week with Brad. I know Brad's obviously watching. We were talking about the E3 stuff. We're trying to put something together, what we're going to do with E3 through this channel or through Brad's, where we'll be sort of live reactions. I'm presuming it might be just a joint thing where we both stream at the same time and you can hear our voices or whatever, but we'll be doing something. So we'll just work. Someone asked me about that the other day, so I thought I'll just address it on the podcast, so at least you can understand that I haven't forgotten about you. What else? I think that's it for gaming. Is there anything, and obviously you've got to type it, but is there anything you want to talk about, Brad, before we go on to football? Brad's saying we will be live. I know I've banged on about it a few times now, so it won't be like a broken record. It's just if I did get asked on social media this week, on Twitter, what's going on. So we'll be doing something, definitely. I'm sure I'll have my United shirt and he'll have his Liverpool shirt on. Now, there is anything on gaming. Have you got anything, Brad, you want me to waffle on about, pal? So I don't think I've got anything else. Right, yeah, let's get on to football then, because he's fucking doing my head in now. Right, so he has said I'm watching the Champions League this week. Now, this week is City v Liverpool, or Liverpool v City. Now, obviously, it's like, I don't know what it is. For United fan, it's almost like the other year when there was that slim chance that the Scousers were going to win the league, and obviously we know the score. Skyrim VR's now PC. I've never even played Skyrim, so apologies, Brad. But that would be a good game, actually, immersion-wise, especially on PC. That's what I'm saying about VR. That's the sort of games you want, something where it's got more to it than just like a half-hour, 2-hour tech demo. I know obviously you can't play VR for too long because you're making you sick or whatever, but yeah. So, yeah, if you've got that, Skyrim's now VR on PC. Let's get back to football. So, I don't know how I feel about this. We know last time City Liverpool played and it had a bearing on something was the league, and obviously Stevie, Slippy. We will meet up, Brad's just saying we need to meet up and play it. I've never played it. I'm sure, I'm not sceptical, but I've just never been blown away, so I'll have to go over to Brad's and play it, and then I'm probably going to be putting down about £1,000 on a PC or something like an idiot. But thank you, mate. But yeah, so back to the football. Don't distract me now with the football. I need to have my little 5 minutes now. This week I don't know how it's going to play out. I just think City are going to be too strong unless they're taking their eye off the ball. It's pretty much done that they've got the league. I just hope to God United turn up on Saturday, because I don't want them beating us to win the league, because that'll be almost as bad as the Aguero thing. I know obviously it's our own fault and we've only got ourselves to blame, but it's just one of them things as a fan. It's like obviously Brad's Liverpool, if Everton had to come to Anfield to win or whatever, you ain't having it. No one's having it. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. I just thought both teams go on the pitch, kick the shit out of each other, both get injured. And we have spent loads of money and so far behind City, you are correct. Especially when you've got players like Smalling and Fellaini who's still there after all this time. I keep banging on about Smalling and Sideshow Bob, but they're absolutely terrible. So you are actually right. I think we've strengthened in areas that didn't need strengthened. I don't know how many attacking midfielders and sort of forwards we need. Lukaku was a necessity. Now Ibrahimovic is gone. You need someone off him, because if Lukaku gets injured, he's I'm trying to if Lukaku gets injured, then we are stuffed. I know it's towards the end of the season, but we need something with him, a backup or some sort of foil for him. So I agree with you, Brad. We are far behind, and they've wasted money on these sort of marquee players. Look at Di Maria, absolute waste of time. I know Falcao was a freebie on loan, but he still has to pay his wages. But I totally agree. There's been too many near misses, and obviously so much going on with Martial at the moment. I love Martial, but he's just not the player. I know he's miserable at the best of times, but whether he's going to be going, I'm not sure. But I will be watching it, and I'm hoping that something happens, the game gets abandoned, you both get kicked out of Europe, and obviously you both then get kicked out of the league and we win it. And if that happens, the odds will be about 60 million to 1, but there you go. So I'll be going rogue on Saturday night. Do not contact me if them scumbags win the league. And that includes you, Bibby, because I know you watch this or listen to it afterwards. So you enjoy it, mate, because you're a good lad, but you tag me in any fucking City stuff and it's going off on the next podcast, okay? And it'll be a big two-fingered salute, as you can see right now. So that's enough for football. I'm not talking anymore. It's depressing me now. Especially I've just had my email today saying my season tickets are due for renewal at United. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about the UFC, actually, because this weekend I banged on about it. UFC 223 is on this weekend. And as usual, like any of these UFC things, the main events had to be changed at the last minute. It was supposed to be Khabib Nurmagomedov against Tony Ferguson, and for the fourth time one of them's got injured. Tony Ferguson's got injured, the clown, but what he was doing this week was he was actually doing the old Tong Po out of kickboxer and kicking the shit out of a steel post, doing proper Thai kicks and stuff. I mean, he looked like he was alright, but then he's done something to his knee now and the bone and muscles just totally separated, so he's well out. So what they've done is they've had to pull a fight out. They were trying to get McGregor, but then they were saying they wanted to promote McGregor more, which is true. They won't make the money in 7 days. McGregor was ready to stand in. And they're always slagging him off. He's not fought since November 2016 in the UFC. But they've got Max Holloway, Max Holloway's the 145 champ. When McGregor relinquished his belt, he stepped up in like a title eliminator and won the belt. So he's the champ now, but McGregor beat Max Holloway in one of his first fights in the UFC. Holloway's, and I think McGregor was 2 or 3 fights in, he beat him on points. So there's always a bit of rivalry there between the two of them. But I mean, Holloway's a great fighter, but he's going up now against Khabib, who's 155. And whoever wins it gets the belt, and Conor sort of relinquishes his title. But then they were showing him doing a lot of training this week with wrestlers and stuff, McGregor, but I just don't think it should be enough, because if he fights Khabib and he gets him down, he's gone. It's all over. So, but that's on this Saturday. Even if you're not a UFC fan, after watching that piece of piss boxing match on Saturday with Joshua, which was absolutely fucking awful, then you've got to get on the UFC. Just watch it for some of the events, because some of the wow moments, I mean, you get the ones where they lay and pray and it's a jiu-jitsu battle and all that. People are like, what's going on? They just lay on top of each other and they're trying to choke each other out. It's all about positioning. If you're not a fan, I totally get why you won't be into mixed martial arts. But this event this weekend is going to be a real good one. And Rose Namajunas v she was the champ who got beat. Rose Namajunas, she done me in that. But she's the champ now, and she's fighting against the ex-champ. And I said it last week about this sort of bullying video where she got a just desserts. And nice one, 90 orbit footy. Love you too, pal. And I think it's F, not PH as well. Let me see who she's fighting. I can't remember. I've got 90 orbits saying it's going to hit my arsehole. That's nice. Thanks, mate. Nice one. I'm good, but I appreciate it. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. He's sidetracking the podcast, but yeah, good for you. Hold on a sec. He's done me in there completely. I'm not even saying what he's doing now at all. He's not saying anything. To do. You'll tell me what to do. To do. Cool. I can't find it now. I've lost it completely. I should know this. It's poor from me. But yeah, so he's fighting this week. I've probably seen this. Unbelievable. Now loves me. Thanks. Hold on. Here we go. UFC website. I was messing about there. Apologies. So it's Rose Namajunas. Oh, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That's terrible. I should know that. They're fighting. Some of the other fights. Well, one of the good ones is Alaquinta. He's under Matt Serra, who was obviously UFC champ, welterweight champ, beat George St. Pierre. Last person to beat George St. Pierre. He's fighting. That'd be a good fight, that, against Paul Felder. Paul Felder's one of the commentators, but he's a really good fighter. And then we've got Chiesa, Michael Chiesa v Sergio Pettis. That's going to be a good fight. I'm not sure about this other one on the undercard. I'm not too sure who they are. Maikano v Qatar. I'm not too sure they are, but they're fighting. So yeah, so if you get a chance, UFC 223 this weekend, give it a watch or record. Like as I've said before, if you haven't got BT, then got an MMA core, and it's all on there. Right, now I mentioned obviously that's all the UFC for this week. Now I mentioned obviously the Vegas stuff that will be coming in the next. No, my mum is not a telescope. Nice one. Nice one. This guy Nightly Orbit 40. He's trying to. I think he's trying to break me. But he ain't gonna break me, pal. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about the Vegas vlogging stuff. But I sort of covered it at the start, so I was sort of looking at my schedule. Now I'm going to the wrestling. The WrestleMania's on this weekend. Brock Lesnar, reckon he's going to get beat against Roman Reigns. Like I say, don't really watch it. This is the only event. WrestleMania and Royal Rumble are the only events that I actually watch at all as a wrestling fan now. It's just totally gone. And there's rumours that he's going to drop the belt. We know it's all premeditated and that, and then he's going to go to the UFC. How he's going to get away with that, I don't know, because of the drug testing, because he's already got a ban that he's got to serve from when he fought against Mark Hunt last year. So I'll have to see how that one goes. And then we'll see on that one. So yeah, WrestleMania this weekend. If you've got the WWE Network, it's on there. It's $9.99. If not, I mean, don't even pay what Sky are charging. It's an absolute rip-off. And I mean, to be fair, the last ones haven't been that good anyway. The last few WrestleManias. These rumours Hogan might be coming, but I'm not too sure. And Mother Russia, I don't know what Nightly Orbit's on, but he's just spamming the chat now. Keep it going, son. At least you're viewing it anyway. It looks like, you know, you're actually watching what I'm talking about, which is quite good. I'll give you for persistence, pal. So yeah, that's it really for this week. In respect to that, I say UFC, please, UFC 223, as I just said, you've got to get on it this weekend. It's going to be a great event. If you're not an MMA fan, please watch it. It's definitely going to be worth it. I'll give a few shout outs before we go. And then, well, one of them I want to give a shout out to at the end is usually Bibby. I'm sure he's going to be having a good weekend this weekend with City beat us. I'll give a shout out to Nightly Orbit 40. Thanks for sticking around. I believe you've got friends. Don't worry about that. Thanks for watching anyway, even if it's not your cup of tea. Matt Bridger, who I've mentioned before with the Vegas vlogging. Nikki Fromage. Give their YouTube channels a following. They're just normal people who do vlogs on anything. And we'll go from there. And then also my other podcast, which is see, Nightly Orbit, he's following me now. See, we've hit common ground after all that. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Comics in Motion podcast. We're on episode 7 this week. We are reviewing Batman, the 1989 Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson one. Yeah, can. Cheers, Brad. I've got a new follower anyway, so thank you, Nightly, and thanks, Brad, as always. But yeah, so Comics in Motion this week's Michael Keaton Batman. So it's one of these ones. It was a sort of pop culture one from 1989. I was about 11 when it first come out. Loved it, the Jack Nicholson thing, and we both reviewed it this week, me and Dave, and we've sort of come up with different scores, which is quite surprising actually. So if you can, follow us on Twitter at ComicsinMotionP, or if you want to email the show, comicsinmotion@gmail.com. That's a totally different podcast to this, and there's no swearing. Oh God. Brad's saying, fuck off, there's no way you were 11 when that came out. 1989, I was 11, I was born in 1978, Brad. I'm 40 this year, as you should know. You should know that, you hit 40 years ago, pal. So, and also big thanks to Brad as always, restream everything else, and being a good mate this last few weeks with all the stuff. So thanks everyone, and it's not it's not bollocks at all. I'm hoping we might have Steve-O on, but you know the way it's going, it's flakety flake. Oh, Payne Mocker 535, hi. I think you're getting the back end of this unless you've been watching. This is a weekly podcast called the Contextual Podcast. If you want to get involved to do with gaming or anything like that, or go back on to YouTube, the Contextual Podcast, and see what I'm about and stuff. We just talk about gaming and football, UFC, stuff like that, and plenty of streaming as well. And give my main man Brad MG a follow. I do need Scotty Bot, you're right mate. The bots come up when I get the follows, but I need to do it. I'll set that up with you because you're going to give us a hand on that, mate. But no, thanks everyone for watching. If you've just come in, apologies, but we will sort it. Oh, cheers, Payne Mocker. He's following me now. That's brilliant. Thank you. Please get on the YouTube channel if you can and just watch back on this episode. It should be up there within about 5 minutes or so properly, so you can watch it again, what we've been talking about. My good friend, Nightly Orbit 40, thank you for giving me abuse and then following. That's rather good of you. Thank you. You can come and slate me next week. And we'll see you out. This has been the Contextual Podcast. I've been Chris. See you later.